Okay, time to wrap it up for the first trading day in March, March the 2nd, 2015. I had this market wrong today. I thought we were going to go down and get stops below 2100, and it was pretty much buying right off the opening. And again, the software did its work. I mean, if you just look, and again, the devil is in the details, but there was some really, this was, a 10-point move up here, and you could have caught a great deal of it. Right here, this trade worked. This trade, a scratch, loser. This trade, definitely a loser. This trade, a winner. This trade, a winner. This trade, a winner. We had a retest failure trade in here that was a scratch. You'd have entered the trade on that bar right there, taking out this little bar's high. If you'd entered taking out that bar's high, it would have been at best a scratch. Winner, scratch, scratch. So, but this run right here, these three trades came in, and I mean, right now you're reading about on the news wires, the financial news wires, is that the NASDAQ has made it above 5,000. So all the major indexes right now have set new contract highs. And here we sit at 2113.25. When we left this contract, we said if you put it all together, it favored a retest of today's highs and or higher prices. And I'll show you how you can make those kind of calls all by your loan. You don't need me to make the calls. Okay, right here. If we were to close it right here in this 2113 area, definitely a buyer tomorrow. I want to see if we can get long to take out this high. There's no reason to think that we can't. Don't have a lot of news tomorrow. We have auto and truck sales, but if they come in as strong as they have been, that could be the impetus that takes us higher. Okay, looking at this profile, our regular F2 screen, which is where we refine our decision, it's a P. And when we did our last update on the last hour, it was a P, and that's where the idea came from. Retest today's highs and or higher prices. The profile doesn't lie. What the only complaint or the only drawback to the profile is you don't know how long it's going to take, but you don't know how long it's going to take with any other methodology that you have either. So it's no worse than the rest of them. So if we're to close it right here at 13, we've got resistance at basically 16 to 18. So selling failure to take out 16 to 18 would be the easiest trade to see. Then 19 to 21 would be sell 2 on the buy side. Getting long against 10. So this 8 to 10 would be buy 1. And then 5 to 7 would be buy 2. The news tomorrow is auto and truck sales. So we have really good support in this 5 area to 10 area right in through here. And you can see it just across really the top of value. Politically this week, it's probably the biggest political event going will be Netanyahu's address to both houses of Congress tomorrow. 35 Democrats will not be there. Vice President Biden will not be there. This is a pretty big event. I think Churchill's the only other person that was there 3 times. So Netanyahu, this will be his 3rd time there. It's pretty significant. But the administration doesn't like what he's doing in the United States, doesn't like him stating the obvious about giving nuclear weapons to Iran. And they've been doing all in their power they can to snub him or give him a hard time. Okay. Right now, we are definitely lower and we closed on the low. We closed very weak. So F1 for the note has us a seller. Looking at the F2 screen, definitely a seller, and you can see we started a new distribution down. Now there's a lot of single prints here. Last rotate up stopped at 10, 8.5. Then we've spilled from 5.5. So this 8 to 12 area is pretty stout resistance. So that's our first sell band. We have all these single prints up here: 11.5, 12, 14.5 to 17. These single prints. So the ideal sell would be right here at 10.5, leaning against that, and that would pick up that spot over there too. So 10.5 would be a structural sale. Not much in the way of news tomorrow, but the news, auto and truck sales, usually comes in favoring economic growth, not the other way around. So follow through selling. We want to get short once to see if we can take out the bottom right here. 27 to 29 will be buy one, and then 21 to 25 will be buy two. The first trade of the day should be a short. Big day in the 30-year, two handles plus. And now I pointed out that range compared to gold and crude today. What gold and crude have going for them is they've got extra volatility. And on gold and crude, you can go with markets. You can buy and generally have a couple of shots at 40 to 50 ticks during the day. That's not always the case in the bond. Okay, structurally right here, leaning against 160, so 31 to 03 will be sell one. Then 7 to 11 will be sell two. Huge day on this. We're in new territory, so we'll make 12 to 16 buy one, and then 4 to 8 buy two. I mean, there's just nothing. There's a huge gap. This is the difference between a 4.5% coupon and a 6% coupon, and that's why we have the gap. So it looks like they're going to try to close this gap all the way from, 160 down to, what was it, 140, 145, 146. That'd be a eye-watering move for sure. Gold today finished weak. Definitely B. It's definitely pointed lower. I think we've got our best support down here in this 95, 97 area, so I think we can go a little bit lower, so we'll try buy two at 95, 97, and then 1200, 1202 for buy one. Let them get stops beneath this point right over here. On the sell side, 10 to 12. Sound like a broken record, I know. Back to our 15 to 18. The world's central banks smack gold futures and turn around and buy physical gold. If we were to do that, we would be arrested and put in jail. So much of the government these days and government operations really are above the law. And when you see, but they flaunt it, like the IRS. Oh yeah, we finally, after a couple of years found 32,000 of the emails we told you were going to be impossible to find, and everybody knew that they were right there. Requires backup storage. All the big banks getting caught manipulating prices, but they're deemed too large to fail, and they're really adjuncts or arms of the central banks of the countries they represent. They get out there and do a lot of trading that central banks can't do themselves. So it's really, really hard to draw a distinction between, where government starts and where does it stop. Like we said this morning, had a seller above 51, and we've had a pretty good buyer below 48.50, and we're still in this range right here. So the last rate trade up stopped at 50, so 50, 50 and a quarter, sell 1. And our 50, 75, 51, sell 2. Oh, they'd be investigating themselves, John. And this printing of money so the government can continue operations, spending, borrowing to spend. That's why they aren't under full investigation, would be my guess. I mean, who will the central banks? Yeah, I'm sure high frequency trading is going to get the blame for this, like you point out. But I love high frequency trading. I mean, the more the merrier. And one of the reasons when we do our volume splits, high frequency trading is trading for 1 to 2 or 3 ticks. They really don't scent the market. They front run. And they're in and out, they're in and out, they're in and out. But as long as it continues to uptick, they'll go right back in. It's the 20-lot player that I think initiates buy and sell programs. And we track him. The 50-lot trader in a down market is probably buffering for the Fed. That's probably the Fed that we see doing that. In an up market, they're probably taking profits on the buying that they did when the market was selling. So, but it's I'm just grateful that we read the markets as well as we do, and can trade. We just join them. We don't fuss about it. We're kind of agnostic when it comes to our trading. We see it. We know it. Who's doing it? We know why it's printing money to borrow to spend, and we can make money off of it. So certainly not something we can do. They can do forever, but they sure as hell are doing it now. Okay, our 111.75 plus or minus, then 111.50 plus or minus for buy 2. And then 1200, 1210 for sell 1. Then 1225 to 35 for sell 2. Hey, we had a good day. We paid attention to software, right? That's all I have. I'll see y'all bright and early in the morning, 6:45 a.m. Central. Y'all have a great evening. They say we might make it into the 40s tomorrow. So spring probably is not too far away. Later.